Go YouTube, DM Gaming here, guys. And in today's video of Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, guys, I want to talk about the potential for the game to cover the Android 21 story, as well as possibly some created character stuff. Guys, before I get into today's video, please, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. Check down below. You may have thought you subscribed and maybe you hadn't. So check it out. Also turn on notifications so you don't miss a single upload. So let's get that off of there. I don't want that on there. I was looking at something whenever I was fighting against Mira in Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, and I mentioned it in that video as well, that whenever we fight Mira, Toa appears and Mira is like a little blob in her hand. And it's very interesting because that's how Xenoverse 1 ended. Now we're playing Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, and she appears in this timeline because remember at the end of Xenoverse 1, she talked about going into a different timeline in a sense. And it's funny that they appear back in Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, which is the timeline that we're in right now. And after we beat him, he's restored, of course, but he's weakened. And they go to the future, and it's interesting because I'm just gonna enlarge this, man, y'all. This is it's interesting whenever we beat him because he goes. They talk about going to another timeline, and we know from playing Xenoverse 2 what timeline that is. You see what I'm saying? There's another alternate timeline where they come and Mira's being revived. And I bring all of that up to say that it seems that Dragon Ball Z Kakarot is a in-between of Dragon Ball Xenoverse and Xenoverse 2. I mean, you can say it's an in-between. It's more or less just in a different timeline. You see what I'm saying? It's a timeline in which Banyu appears, in which, you know, guys, oh my gosh, it's so like mind blowing, and it's a lot of different. Like Dragon Ball Z Kakarot is in the Dragon Ball universe, but it's amazing and interesting how these two different developers can make these games and they actually kind of tie into each other. Not to mention Dragon Ball FighterZ with Android 21. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to say this. I'm going to go, because I've been talking about the game for over a year. I'm going to say this. It would be in your best interest to get the DLC for this game, even though we don't know the complete details about it. I mean, it's the same way as when the game first came out. We didn't know the details about it. Look where we're at. Guys, get the DLC for this game. I have a very, very good feeling that we are going to get to experience Android 21's story that gives some backdrop into how she, in a sense, I mean, how she became who she was. Now, we know a little bit about her backstory, in a sense, from Dragon Ball FighterZ, but getting to experience it in the Dragon Ball Z universe, the way that Kakarot is set up, is a completely different experience, and they're able to go more in depth with that experience. Reason why I feel that way about Android 21 is because she's all throughout the maps. Like, you go through the different maps and she's looking for something. She's searching for something. What I believe it is that she's searching for is something that's going to lead to unlocking her Majin powers. She's going to find something dealing with Babidi, perhaps. You know, I don't know, guys, but I know, or I have a strong feeling that her story is going to be one of those original episodes, possibly. You know, people think it's going to be movie characters, stuff like that. To me, that's not original. Original is something that's made specifically for the game. And whenever we look at the movies, that's not original content. It's already out there. You get what I'm saying? So, and it's a part 1 and a part 2. You see what I'm saying? That's very, very interesting to me. And I feel like that I'm excited to see it. Okay, so then on top of that, so Kakarot, in a sense, and backtrack a little bit, Kakarot in a sense is almost bridging all of these Dragon Ball games together. And what's interesting is the common denominator in all of these games, which is Akira Toriyama. He had a hand in Dragon Ball FighterZ. He had a hand in Dragon Ball Xenoverse. He has a hand in Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. It's no surprise to me that these games are being tied together. The Dragon Ball universe is being collectively combined. So if you want to play Android 21's timeline in a sense, go play Dragon Ball FighterZ. That's a result of her timeline. If you want Dragon Ball Xenoverse, you could do that. And then Dragon Ball Kakarot plays into the original timeline. And then bam, here come Toa and Mira from Xenoverse 1 into Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. And you defeat them and they go back into the timeline of Xenoverse 2. Like, oh my God, y'all. This game has, I need Guru to come into Dragon Ball Z Kakarot and just unlock his potential. Guru, unlock the potential like you did for Gohan and Krillin. This game is going to last a year. This game is maybe last two or 3 years. Xenoverse did. FighterZ is very well on the verge of going 2 years. I could very easily see Dragon Ball FighterZ lasting 2 years. And it's just mind-blowing, guys. It is freaking mind-blowing, the potential that this game has. I can see this happening. If you can see this happening, let me know down in the comment section down below. Because it's just, I'm going to have to get a piece of paper. I'm going to have to draw this timeline stuff out. Guys, there is even potential, in my honest opinion, for a creative character in Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. Reason why I feel that way is because Toa and Mira have been introduced. So, therefore, we can see, and that's just me back there. Y'all can't see my head. Y'all see my head back there? I'm just playing my gameplay from the other day. I can see the potential for, because they've already introduced Trunks' time machine as well. So you have Toa and Mira coming from Dragon Ball Xenoverse 1's timeline back into the old timeline of Dragon Ball Z, which is a different timeline as well because, I mean, guys, there's multiple various different timelines in everything that's going off of that philosophy. So they leave Xenoverse 1, come into Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, then leave there and go back to where the Xenoverse 2 timeline takes place. And then Dragon Ball Z Kakarot already has Trunks' time machine. And I know a lot of y'all are wondering, well, why isn't the time machine active right now? Very interesting question. I'm going to throw some possibilities out there. Because to me, it seems simple for them to activate that time machine to allow you to go back and play more quests or older sagas. Now, I feel, and I've said this before, that time machine, there's more to it than that. There has to be more to this time machine than just going back and into other sagas and being able to play those sub quests that you missed. Guys, that's only a fraction of it. The reason why I feel that way, and I said that in the video as well, is because people like myself who have played every single sub, well, I still got some I got to finish, but I haven't missed the sub quest throughout the sagas. That would render the time machine useless. You see what I'm saying? And for them to put in all of this work on this time machine, there has to be more to it. Trunks is even involved. Like, you don't even get Trunks as a playable character in the end game until you go visit that time machine. Guys, I'm telling you, the key is that time machine, man. The key is the time machine. For all we know, Android 21, because she's at Capsule Corp, she could use that time machine to go back in time to when Babidi was there, get possessed by him, unlock her Majin powers. Like, bro, do y'all see the potential? Guru is standing over Dragon Ball Z Kakarot right now, unlocking his potential. Like, guys, it's right here in front of us. It's in plain sight. We are going to, I'm going to say it. We're going to get the Explorer Android 21 story. We're going to get to explore more. We're not done with Toa and Mira. And with Trunks' time machine, that opens it up for us to go and do the movies. Okay, go back in time into the saga and do different movies. They can implement them there and it doesn't mess up right now because remember those movies took place at different times in the Dragon Ball Z timeline. And since we're at the end, it doesn't make sense to throw it in there right now. So what other way for us to access them than by going back in time to say like the Tree of Might? We would have to go back in time to that particular point in the saga. Same thing with Broly. We would have to go back in time. Cooler, we would have to go back in time. It wouldn't make sense for them to show up now. So in order to do that and stay true to the Dragon Ball universe, you need a time machine. Guys, my brain is just firing on all cylinders this morning, okay? All of this makes sense, man. All of this makes sense. And I can see it may not be in this game. It may be in a sequel. But eventually, I feel like we could see a created character in Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. And I'm going to tell you what would be so dope. Because I know people are wanting multiplayer, and we could hold off on that for right now. I could see sort of a crossover with Dragon Ball Xenoverse and Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. Like, picture, if you will, if you have, I don't know why these ads are popping up. I'm sorry, y'all. Picture, if you will, that you have a crossover event between Xenoverse and Dragon Ball Z Kakarot where your saved character, your saved avatar from Xenoverse could be ported over into Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. Sort of the same way that you have your Xenoverse 1 character was ported over into Xenoverse 2. Like, it's possible. Bandai is over it. They could get these guys. It can happen. I'm just throwing it out there. I'm probably on a limb going out there, but I just feel like something like that could very well be possible because all they would have to do was set up the game to access that save file. They would have to make that save file, that character file, compatible with this engine. I mean, I don't know. Either that, I don't see them implementing a completely new menu that allows you to go in and create a character. They would have to essentially give you like creative development control of the game in a sense. That's how they implement these creative character features and stuff like that. But I'm just getting the gears turning, y'all, because it's going to be rolling out. It's going to be rolling out. And we've talked so much about this game that stuff has actually happened. Why stop there? Like, bruh, I'm telling you again, Trunks Time Machine is the key. So, guys, let me know what y'all think down in the comment section down below. I know it's kind of all over the place, and I'm going to go through and break them down each one by one. I told y'all I'm getting back into Dragon Ball FighterZ. I haven't even finished the story for Dragon Ball FighterZ, so I'll probably restart that story so I can see what they say in its entirety about Android 21. Make sure I'm not missing anything, but it is what it is. So, guys, that's all I have for right now, guys. Check out Beautiful Halo down in the description box down below, guys. They have some awesome anime gear. It's nice. It's nice. I was finna hold this up, but this is not it. I have a shirt that I got from them. It's pretty nice, or a jacket. But, guys, till next time, y'all, thanks for watching. Peace.